Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Burn After Reading, and this movie is directed by the Coen brothers, and it came out in 2008, and I really loved this movie, and this is the second time that I've seen this film, and I really enjoyed it the first time, and this time watching it, I really loved it, and the performances in this movie are all great, and Brad Pitt, he's hilarious in this movie, and George Clooney is great, and Frances McDormand, John Malkovich, Tilda Swinton, J.K. Simmons is in it too, and it has a great cast, and they never feel as though they're just playing themselves. They feel as though they're actually playing a character, and it really works for this movie, and there's a lot to chew on when it comes to the story and the way it's told, despite it only being an hour and a half, and it's basically just a bunch of individual stories that a few characters have, like John Malkovich. He interacts with a couple of these key characters that I mentioned, and that's about it, but he doesn't interact with everyone in the movie. But all of the storylines that you see with every character in this movie is connected, and none of them realize it, and the only people who do realize it is the audience, and the audience is kind of required to like fill in the blanks as to like what was going on and really talk about like what we saw, and it's really fun to watch. And this movie isn't just a comedy, and it's not all just surface level. There are things to read into and interpret about the film, and that's what makes this movie special to me. And the movie has a clear understanding of what it's going for. It never gets dragged down by any absurd subplots or anything like that. And while there are some side stories in this movie, it all feels connected into the main plot of the movie, and it's just a bunch of like subplots that connect to each other to make a plot. And when I say a plot, I don't mean A plot, B plot, I mean a plot. And the comedy in this movie is always very funny, and it never feels like a slapstick comedy. It feels like this is how a character is written, and they would be funny in this scenario. And John Malkovich, he has specific ways of interacting with people, and it's always very funny. And Brad Pitt, he plays basically a dope in the movie, and he's absolutely hilarious in the movie. And whenever he's on screen, I was laughing out loud, and there's some really great moments with him. And George Clooney, his character is pretty much, as the movie goes along, paranoid, and I'm not going to get into why he's paranoid. It's just really funny that that's a thing in the movie, and they explain why. It's just, I don't want to spoil anything. And there's tons of really memorable scenes in this movie, and when I think of individual moments, I remember not just the moments, but the scenes that they exist in. Like, I can remember the entire scene. I can remember what characters were doing in specific moments, and all of the build-up leading up to these moments. And that's one thing that I can say about this movie, as opposed to like any other bad comedies, is that like sometimes you'll get a funny moment, but that little moment is all you're gonna remember. And this movie, it's that moment plus the entire scene. And that's something that I really value about this movie. And you can pretty much guess where the movie's going to go, like in concept of what the movie is going to be within the first 30 minutes of the movie. But the movie constantly goes in different directions that you're not expecting. Like, it constantly subverts expectations and goes in directions you don't expect. And that's another thing that really works, is that it doesn't follow the traditional formula and structure that you're expecting. It's not afraid to take risks, and it's not afraid to be what it wants to, and it doesn't feel like a studio is interfering with a project. It feels like this is what the Coen brothers wanted to do, and they were able to tell the story that they wanted to, and we have it, and it's a great movie because of that. And if there's anything that I didn't like in the movie, there are just a few things in the plot that I was a little confused by, and that's about it. But for the most part, it was really great. It was really engaging, very well acted, great writing, great comedy, and the movie looks great. It's all very memorable, and No scene is really just there for the sake of padding out the runtime, and everything feels as though it needs to be there. It's all very tight, it's very well paced, and just anything they would want out of a great movie is in this movie, and that's why I love it. And with all that being said, I'm going to give Burn After Reading a 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of Burn After Reading, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for The Gray Man. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.